Hello, I'm Julia Cordova, and I thought I would do a video this weekend that was just a plain chart review. I did want to originally talk about how I plan to trade, but I did not have the time to put the content together that would make it like cohesive and valuable for you, for your time. So instead I'm just going to talk about charts, and I'll talk about one of my trades from last week in the context of charts, but that's all I'll do. So okay, let's go forward with charts. Okay. Okay, how do I operate this thing? Okay, so this is ES weekly chart. So the interesting thing about this past week and the week before was that you can see the high-low range of both. I'm gonna have to let my dog in because he's been barking nonstop, and this is the third time I've attempted to do this video, and I'm getting a little irritated. So please hold on. Wallaby, come on. Good job, buddy. Alright, please, just relax, calm down. Okay? I love you, calm. Okay. So, look at these past 2 weeks. The range compared to the candles for the last, month and a half or so. They're pretty tiny. It's almost like the old days. Almost like the old days, these 2 past weeks. It's been just consolidating. So what does that mean? That means it's getting ready to do something. I don't know what. And as you know, I'm not a huge fan of hammer candles and uptrends, but this was sort of an inside hammer candle, not the worst candle that we could see here. If you look here to this last dip, you can see sort of a similar formation. Yeah, doesn't mean anything to me. It only means that it's getting ready to do something. Something good, something bad, depends on how you're positioned and what it does. I have no idea. It's just getting ready to do something. My bias is still upwards, but that could change at any time, and I'll tell you where and when and why. So my original hypothesis here a couple weeks ago, if you watched my What Would a Bad Trader Do, is that price would get up to Eric's line, which it did, this yellow shaded area, and then come back down, and then I said it would go to Eric's line again and then come back down, but not as much, and then go to Eric's line again and then break out. So we'll have to see if that happens. The day has started already. It's Sunday night, but my most favorite thing would be for it to go up and then come back down again, just so it can trap a bunch of people. Who knows who it's trapping? Is it trapping bulls? Is it trapping bears? I don't know. I don't know. But it does look like it's probably going to just keep consolidating. So let's talk about my one trade from that I wanted to talk about from last week. So because I actually did think it would go a little higher into Eric's area before it went down. So originally I was going to plan to short when it got up here, but I didn't take the short because it just happened, so quickly. Already when the week began, it was just like, dropping. So what I did instead was I waited for it to get to support, which was this 27-23 area, and right at the same time that price got to support, RSI was also at support. You can see it ended at support as well. So I went ahead and I went long there. I tweeted that it was at RSI and price support, which generally means I'm going long. Same thing in reverse. If I say something's at RSI and price resistance, that generally means either I'm taking profit or I'm going short. So I went long here, and then later on that day, price came to, I think, right around here or so, and I took some partial profits. I tweeted that, and then the next day, I waited until it got to an MA. I put a trailing stop on the remaining 2/3, and then when it got to an MA, which is, this MA is now moved, by the way, but it was, I think it was a little bit lower at the time, and then I took some more profit there, and then I just held the additional 1/3, and I'm still holding it. So I'll either go break even if it gets back here, or I'll wait till it gets to resistance around this area and I'll take profit again, and then I'll either short if I see it's at RSI resistance, or I will wait and go long again at the next support that I see. I don't know yet. And if I do take profit at resistance, I'll either wait to go long again until it gets down here, or I will actually wait until price gets above resistance and buy it above resistance. I don't have any problem with that. I never have a problem buying something more than when I sold it for, as long as it's above a major resistance that I was waiting on. Doesn't bother me in the slightest, because I've eliminated my risk the second I take it off here at resistance. But it depends on how many scales I am in when that happens, because this was resistance and I took some off and then I still kept holding. So it just depends on how many scales I have in, what my strategy is there. Okay, let's talk about oil. You know what? Look at this wick. I don't even know what to say about that. So like any expert, I'm just going to ignore it like it didn't happen. I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. That's bad. That's yeah. Wow. Look at that. Ugh. Anyway, I did go long briefly oil for some period last week when I thought it was very good odds for a bounce, and then I got the hell out of there because yeah, no, I don't think I'm brave. I think I don't have an aversion towards buying support, and but I just wasn't comfortable staying in it, or yeah, no. Also, I got this message saying that I couldn't add anything. I could only close, so that kind of freaked me out, and I just wanted to get the hell out. Anyway, not a bad trade though. These are my pivots I'm watching for this week. I don't think it's really very, I don't think, look, it's not bullish at all, but I might try something if it gets above 1814. Let's see how that lines up with the 4 hour. Yeah, so I've got kind of a 1927 line marked off here, and that would, it would, that sort of lines, that 1814 sort of lines up with that purple MA. But it's kind of a pain in the ass to do oil right now, and it's not, I don't know. I just as soon look at some oil company stocks and see which ones have been strongest or less crap through all of this, and see if there's any opportunities there, and just wait till things settle down. But yeah, I don't know what to say about this, so I'm not going to say anything. I don't know. There's other things to trade. Let's talk about gold. Okay, so I've just sort of been talking about things to trade. I've sort of been just investing in gold. I haven't really been trading it for a little bit because, I don't know, it actually has been doing things I like. It came over and bounced off of the rocket line last week and went back up. It looks like it's just trying to deteriorate this band of resistance high. So because it's sort of making what looks like lower highs, I would wait until we have a close. If I wasn't in a position or wanted to add, I would either wait until we had a close above 1753, and maybe even above this previous last high, which was, hold on, I think it said 1750, but I'll check again. Yeah, 1759.20. So I would just sort of wait until we have a close above this last high and then see where we're at on a resistance scale. Or, conversely, if it came back down, maybe underneath this last MA where it bounced before, I might look for a short scalp. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have much valuable to add about gold right now. And as far as silver goes, I think somebody asked me about silver last week. They were in a position that sort of went, they were bought somewhere in here, and it sort of went south on them. And I said that I wouldn't necessarily add to the position unless it were either above the wheelchair line, which it hasn't gotten to, or if it got to support here. But I was wondering if this was sort of bull flaggy, but it really hasn't broken out if it is. So if it does break out of, let's say, 1572 would be the top of the bull flag, that might be a good scalp. Certainly if I see anything, I'll let you know. but not really tracking that too well right now, to be honest. You know, sometimes I'm more on top of things than others. I just tend to focus on what I see that's very high probability, and that's what I trade, and that's sort of where I put all of my focus, sometimes to my own detriment, because I can't watch everything at once. Maybe I need a whole set of monitors, but I have ADD anyway, so that would just be like squirrel, 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 squirrel. I didn't mean it, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't actually see one. I love you. I'm sorry. I should not use that word. Okay. Let's talk about Natty. I'm sorry, buddy. We're gonna have to go look for some SQ gray thingies after this, because now I feel guilty. Okay. The contract rolled over here. It looks like it's just bouncing down though from our channel resistance. It's holding my sort of gappy thing right now. It's gonna leave a little gap here, so I'll mark that off if it doesn't come down tonight. So my preference would be that it actually tanks a little bit and then comes back up, but if it doesn't, then we'll just mark that off and see what happens. So I am still sort of biased a little bit bullish upwards here. However, it is not at all bullish. Look at this chart. Not at all bullish. You are a loud breather. We're going to go out in just a minute. I promise. Okay, so I think it would be a good scalp opportunity above this 1.882. And then I think it really is going to be, and I will add to my long, above this key level, if it gets above this key level, which is 1.985. That's going to be a big freaking deal if that ever happens. If not, this is good scalp material in between all of these pivots here. But we'll see what happens. You know what? Look at all these failed head and shoulders that I've drawn. I always draw them when I see the head coming up, and I'm like, oh, maybe. Nope, fail. Then I'm like, well, maybe it's a bigger one. Maybe this is a giant shoulder, then a head, and nope, fail. Then I'm like, the one I don't mark off, but I draw the upside down devil in, or bat, or whatever, shoulder, maybe the head. Maybe this is a two-prong shoulder, two-prong shoulder, two-prong head, two-prong shoulder. I don't know. But anyway, best thing to do, wait until it gets above resistance and then take a stab at it. And that's it for today. So I hope you had a fantastic weekend, and I hope you have a fantastic week. And I will see you around the interwebs. Thank you for subscribing. Okay, I have to do this. Okay, thank you for subscribing. Okay, bye.